Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at yet another Steam Early Access game in development. This is Sir, You Are Being Hunted, a sort of randomly generated survival game with more of a goal than your typical randomly generated survival game, as well as a lack of permadeath. So let's just get in here and generate a new world. So when you get to generate a world, you get to pick which biome type things your different islands have. There's always 5 islands, but you get to pick the different biomes. Right now there isn't that many because this is, again, very early in development, or at least very earlier in its release state. So we've got rural, mountain, fens, and that's it. So we're going to go rural, which I don't think you can change. The first one is always default to rural. We're going to go mountain, fens, rural. Sure. And then it goes through the generation process. You know, your typical reticulating splines. This is where the random generation stuff comes in. I mean, these islands aren't going to be the same ever, I think. I don't know how random the randomness is. I haven't played too many different generations. Since, again, this game doesn't have permadeath, so there isn't really a reason to constantly start over, like you would with something like Don't Starve or even Minecraft. Minecraft Hardcore, that is.
If you can hear this, then the experiment has gone terribly wrong.
So even in this early version, we get the
on the archipelago,
intro.
But don't panic. The standing stones should be nearby. With them, and some luck, you may still be able to escape. Listen very carefully, and you might just survive. I am afraid pieces of the device are now scattered across the islands. They became quite hot during the experiment, so perhaps you could look for the smoke. Bring any you find back to the standing stones, then we should be able to get you home. I'm dreadfully sorry, sir, but this does mean postponing dinner preparations. I do hope you remember to eat something. You must try to keep your strength up. Perhaps some tea and biscuits from one of the nearby houses? The residents won't mind because they're not at home. Oh, and do be careful, sir. You're being hunted.
So that's sort of our setup. We've built some sort of device. The device has gone horribly wrong and teleported us to this alternate world where everyone is dead and there are some very British robots hanging out. So here's sort of our little tutorial area. These are the standing stones. There's one on each island, roughly in the middle, and our compass will always point us towards the one on the island we're on. Basically, our objective is just to collect all of the pieces of the device and bring them to the standing stone, and that's about it. Got a busted robot here, which tells us how to loot. So here's our inventory. You might notice that the objects in this game are pretty big. They take up a lot of your inventory.
Useful. Now you can observe your pursuers while keeping a safe distance.
Got some binoculars. They don't really help that much. At the bottom there you can see we've got health, which is obviously our health. Vitality, which is how hungry we are. And our visibility, which, again, is our sort of stealth meter. Since this is sort of a stealth-focused survival game, you really want to sneak past the robots as much as possible, because otherwise they will just wreck you. So here's our device piece.
Return that fragment to the standing stones and leave it there. You'll be one step closer to home.
One of the annoying things is, you might notice these things are friggin' gigantic. So if you filled up your inventory with useful stuff and then you find one of these, you kinda gotta find somewhere to stick it all before you can bring this back to the standing stone. Which is a bit of a pain in the ass, since as far as I know they haven't added any like backpacks or anything that increase your inventory size. Also, we can save at the stone. When we die, it just loads our save, I think.
But do be careful finding the next one.
you can see there are 25 total device pieces, and 8 of them are on this island. So to get the rest, we'd have to travel to the northwest, east, and south islands. But, yeah, I'm just sort of dumped here. Let's go check out these houses. Or, is that houses? That might be just an inn. Because every building in this game has some sort of loot in it. You can't actually go in the buildings, but basically what you do is you just walk up to the doors here. Every door will have loot in it.
It looks like there's something useful in there. Oh, and if you find anything
Shotgun
edible,
shells.
don't look at it too closely.
I don't know what some of this stuff does. I don't know if it does anything yet, like the old boots. Take this trap thing. Obviously we can eat the pheasant. Actually, I don't think the candlestick does anything. Oh, shit. So those are some robots. You can always hear that silly 50s robot sound when they're around, that beep booping. And you can't really hear it, but they say a lot of Britishisms. Britishisms. In that very, you know, tuned voice. Some whiskey. Don't think the dead rat does anything other than reduce your vitality. Because a lot of the food in this is gone bad, or is, you know, some variation of shitty. So it'll actually reduce your vitality instead of increasing it. And again, it's not going to tell you that until you've tried it at least once. Alright, so they wandered off. Essentially all we want to do is wander around, gather supplies, and not get seen. Got some moldy bread. Skull of the sheep is another one of those things I don't know what it does. It also mentioned in the tutorial the background colors. If the background color of a loot place is green, it means we can store stuff here and it'll stay. But if it's red, we can't put anything in it. So essentially, you could sort of load up a bunch of... Oh, shit, there's a balloon. You could load up a bunch of stuff into a nearby house and then come back for it when you need it. Alright. We want to stay away from the balloon because they'll set off an alarm that'll bring any nearby robots after us. So this is the rural biome. I don't think I've actually gone to the other islands, so I don't know what the other ones look like, but you can see it's sort of a typical English countryside. Lots of trees and grasses and rain. Alright, we found a little town here. Tweed wholesalers. We could definitely use some tweed. Oh shit. That... Oh, that's a robot. Yeah, okay. It's taking shots at us. Now, they don't have infinite ammo, so we do actually have the chance to run away while he's reloading. Run into these bushes. They will lose you pretty easily once you're in any sort of well-hidden cover. And we can use stuff like the rock to make noise to get their attention. We can also set down a trap. The trap doesn't actually kill them, it just pins them in place. Since, you know, they're robots, and it's just a bear trap. Alright, I think we got away. You can see up at the top there, too, that this game's only an alpha. It's not even, you know, the sort of beta polishing state. So they're planning to add a lot more stuff to this, even just from, you know, their next patch list of stuff they plan to do. Including more enemy types and more crafting and whatnot. Let's eat this unpleasant pile of eggs. A lot of will-o'-wisps around, too. They don't really do anything, so that's good. Of course, downing that whole bottle of whiskey sort of inebriated us, but that'll go away quickly. It does seem that there are a lot of foods in this game right now that will fill up your health fully, like this well-cured ham. Basically anything that isn't horrible and rotting will fill you up pretty quick. I was hoping we might find a gun around here. can't tell if they've seen me. They're moving around in a hurry. Some revolver ammo. So again, we can actually get weapons even though this is a stealth game, but not super effective. There is a robot behind me, so I want to kind of stay ahead here. Some lukewarm tea, let's just drink that. We could grab this hatchet to defend ourselves with, but then we'd have to get close to them in addition to being kind of wimpy. At least with the guns we can kind of hang back. Which I was hoping we'd find one here, but I've not seen any. The other problem with the guns is they take up a lot of space in your inventory, and we can't, like, rotate things. Alright, so we've got a piece of the device over there. It doesn't look like anything's around. Just walk up and snag it. But of course, to do that, we'd have to drop a lot of the shit in our inventory. Like this fine piece of game. Alright, drop that. Wish there was a faster way to sort your inventory by size. Alright, so it would fit right there. We just need to move this and this. Which means I'm gonna have to drop some shit. Nah, let's just drop this trap. And... don't want to throw away the ham because it's actually pretty useful. I'll just drop another trap. We're not really going to use these in the course of this video. Alright, so there's a mysterious fragment. Let's go dump that back at the standing stones, and then I think we're going to take this boat to check out some of the other biomes. Can't remember if I can pull up a map of the islands. One annoying thing is robots tend to group up around your standing stones after a while. So to even return this, I'm going to have to stealth in there. It's nice that the robots never instantly see you. They always go, you know, what is that? I don't know if they're going to add any story stuff that kind of explains what this world we're in is. Because it sort of seems like a world where, at some point, people made steampunk robots that then killed everyone and took over. And that's why there's just a busted old British countryside around now. It's sort of a neat world, though. It's like post-apocalyptic 1800s Britain. Or as the developers like to describe it, it's Tweedpunk. Alright.
Excellent. We're making
Pop that in there.
progress. You might survive this after all.
So, I'm trying to remember which islands I made into different biomes and which ones I just said, fuck it, rural. I believe north should be mountains. So I'm going to dump some stuff in here while we're here. Don't really need all this ammo since we don't have any of these guns yet. Toss one of these hams. One of these whiskeys, and let's just eat the other ham. A broken bottle. Okay, that should be enough space. And that stuff will just sit there now, so we can come back for it when we're by the standing stones. So let's head north towards the, hopefully, northern boat. Okay, that's just a wisp. There is a balloon there, but I don't think they can see you unless they're directly over you. Though again, because this is an early alpha, they have an annoying tendency to see you through things like buildings. You know, if you're hiding behind a building, they'll still see you with their searchlights, which the developers have already addressed and said they're going to fix. In fact, I think they might have fixed it in the first patch. The islands aren't super large either. It shouldn't take you more than a couple minutes to walk from one side to the other. Except for when you have to dodge robots, but if you just sort of follow the coast, you usually don't run into any. We've got a church over here, which kind of make this ominous, evil sound when you get close to them. And there never seems to be any robots around them.
I know you're not used to preparing your own meals, sir. But I'm sure you can master
So yeah, we can light these
roasting
fires,
on an open fire.
which we can use to
Hot
cook
smoke
stuff.
can be seen for miles, however, so do be quick.
But yeah, they can be picked up by robots from all over the place, so you kind of want to cook and run. Also, we got a
A
shotgun.
weapon? Do be careful with that. I really think violence is best left to the experts.
It's kind of hard to tell if our butler here is on our side or not. I guess he does sort of benefit if we never come back from wherever we are. In addition to the standing stones, you can also use boats as a save point, and I believe it auto-saves when you switch islands.
There are a number of islands in the archipelago. Each of them is likely to have fragments of the device for you to collect. Try not to get lost.
This certainly looks different. This must be the mountain biome. Is it Minecraft's fault that we call them biomes now and not just, you know, environments? I mean, it's sort of specific to these randomly generated sort of games. But it's not just how people play them and refer to them, it's how developers are referring to them now too, so I guess that's just sort of one of those trends that have developed on its own. Okay, so there's a fragment, but there's two robots guarding it. Oh, actually, I was totally wrong. There isn't a standing stone on every island. There's only one on the center, which means every time you get one of those things, you gotta carry it all the way back to a boat, then carry it all the way back. So you can see why it might take a while to get all 25 pieces. I mean, unless you just empty your inventory, grab all the pieces you can carry, which I still think is only 2. Oh shit, let's not fall off this cliff. I want to see if we can try to kill one of these. This guy sounds like he's by himself. Nope, there's 2 of them. So I do have 6 shots. This is inadvisable, especially since they're not in my way. But when have I ever done things the advisable way? I don't think those 2 shots to the face really bothered him that much. I'm pretty sure he's still standing. He's running, though. Maybe he's just looking for me. I broke his shotgun. Oh, jeez. Up, through the woods. This does look like an easy place to lose them, though. There's so many trees and foliage. Ultimately, the reason you don't want to just try to kill them all, though, is because I'm pretty sure they just respawn eventually. And there's always going to be more of them than there is of you. Doesn't look like there's any sort of settlements or anything. I say right as the castle comes into view. Alright, they're still following me. Should be able to lose them down here, though, because they're all the way up on that cliff. As long as they don't look down. Well, they might look down. I find the sound design is really helpful so far. Like, the fact that you can hear the robots way before you can see them really helps not just walk into a bunch of them. These robots are just chilling. Having a hunting party. Smoking some pipes. What? None of them are really looking at me, so I don't know what they're freaking out about. As long as I stay in the grass, they shouldn't see me from that far away. So it's kind of interesting to have one of these survival games based on stealth rather than, you know, fight whatever monsters come your way. So it would be an exceptionally bad idea to light one of these fires. Unless we were using it as a distraction. You know, light it and then run to get all of them to come to us so we can sneak past where they were previously. Just live in this tent forever. There's a little cabin in the woods. So I've seen two different fragments. But it seems like they'd be kind of hard to find here just because of all the different terrain. You can't see the smoke from very far. Hunting rifle. I haven't seen a hunting rifle. Oh, I guess that is a hunting rifle. Just looks similar. So this probably does some decent damage. One shot, but of course you've only got one shot. Oh shit, that went right over his head. Haha, catch me now, robots. I'm gonna go hide by this upside down inkwell? I'm not really sure what these are. They remind me of a specific structure from the game Pathologic that nobody has ever played or even really heard of. Luckily, the robots are not expert marksmen either. Oh, I thought he was still reloading. Shit. Okay, I'm bleeding here, so I want to use one of these as a bandage.
I would advocate discretion, sir. It might be best to run and hide, but if you have found a weapon, perhaps you can use it to fend them off.
Shit. So bandages don't actually heal you, they just stop you from losing health constantly from bleeding. Oh shit, that's a dog robot. There's a dog robot chasing me. Your health just goes back up over time when you have high vitality. So you have regenerating health, but you have to feed. Shit, I can't even stop to eat. Okay, I'm gonna have to blast this dog. Yeah. Alright, now I should be able to slink away. This canned pie, so my vitality goes all the way up, because canned pies are one of the best. Because of their tiny inventory footprint. And you can see my health is slowly going back up. This is a bad place to try to hide. It's all just grass and rocks. So it's kind of neat to have regenerating health while still basically needing to heal yourself through food. But it does mean that there's no fast way to heal in this, unless they, add in some sort of poultice or something that you can make. Again, crafting isn't really something you can do yet, but they've said that they're adding it in. Which makes sense with all the random junk you can find. It's also a day-night cycle. I don't know if you really noticed. It doesn't get super dark at night or anything. This isn't DayZ. So it's not super pitch black or anything at night. And, well, that's pretty much all there is to, Sir, you were being hunted so far. Again, it's got sort of the basic concept already laid down. It's just gonna add more and more stuff. Similar to how Don't Starve did it when they were going through their early release. And I'm kind of curious to see where this goes from here. I do find it's maybe a little difficult right now. The advantage is sort of skewed to the robots. But it is, I guess, kind of supposed to be. Since, you're this man lost and alone in a strange but familiarly British world where the robots have taken over. I also like the way that your gun sort of drifts when you move like that. It's one of those things people always point out in games, if there isn't the two sights, that it would be impossible to tell where you're aiming when you move like that because there's no lining up. So that's a neat little detail. Anyhow, this is Sir, you are being hunted. I've been Shadefire. And, I'll see you around. Maybe we'll look at this again in future development. That's always one of those things I'm not sure about with early access games. But until then, have yourselves a fun, robot-free, maybe a little British day.